Hello, hello, everyone. Okay, yeah. I was like, I just thought to check now that the sound was working. you know, I almost didn't even go. I was like completely head in the clouds thinking about blending brushes, and like Chris is like, we go live in like 2 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing I do. Welcome to the chaos, everybody. Just if it's not one thing, it's another. AmyR, face, craft in space, unpaid intern in the corner,
Yo.
aka the husband.
Yep.
You know, because people have asked that. They're like, who's the unpaid intern? Honestly, it's the disembodied voice I talk to. Like, really.
I'm really just the poltergeist that lives in the corner.
He probably is the poltergeist that causes issues at times. We got tech gremlins and poltergeists. I posted that in the chat. So far, they're quiet. Let's just hope it stays that way. The poltergeist doesn't bother me as much. It's more, he just likes to mess with my cardstock cabinet and open drawers when I'm doing things. So, yeah, we're live, unscripted, unfiltered. Hello to everybody. I appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me, and yes, what Kitty said, yeah, true. Make sure chat you set live chat. Those that are watching live, the actual live chat, for whatever reason, it has that option at the top of the chat that it says you can click on top chat or live chat. I always change I didn't even think of that. So thank you for mentioning that. I always change it to live chat because for whatever reason, it'll like not post everything. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. I don't know why they even have that as an option. So anyway, hello to everybody. Everything seems to be working. Yeah. Oh yeah. The poltergeist. Yeah. We'll blame the poltergeist for hiding my watercolor paper. Still haven't found it. We'll have some sort of like celebration or something when I do find it. I have still have not come across it. And considering how many times I have ripped apart this room trying to find other random things, you know, because I was saying that to Heidi at Simon Says Stamp. I was talking to her last week and I was going on about, and I did find it. And now I don't know where I put it again. Oh no, it's right here. I was looking for a certain little like die set. I have been looking for this for like a couple weeks. Anyway, and I was like, I don't know where that went. I know I have it. I did find it. So anyway. Chaos. Chaos is the name of the game. But I'm mostly prepared today, I think. I pulled out just oldie but goodies. A couple of new-ish things. And yeah, I have a rough idea in my head, as usual. Because, yeah, the week got away from me. Again, it's been just bonkers. It's in the safe place. Yeah. I don't know where that is, though.
I figured there's a portal to another dimension there.
I probably do have some sort of portal. It's just that I got too much stuff. I have too much stuff and I'm not organized. I love to organize. I think that's still in my profile on everything. That's what I used to always say, like, you know, when you put your little profile description, and mine was always like habitual coffee drinker, and I'm a mom, and then I was like, loves to organize. And I'm like, I need to delete that.
You do love it.
I do love it. Do I do it? No, I don't have time. I start, or I meant like even before I went live, I was literally like thinking about like organizing and maybe giving my blending brushes a spa day. I was like, maybe I should do that. I talk about this. I never wash my blending brushes ever, but yeah, I've had them for several years. They're absolutely full of ink. And I was like, maybe I should wash them and, you know, do the whole thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it, you know? So yeah. Same with organizing. I start. Really, I do. I start. I move everything from one bin into another bin. That's
yeah.
And then the bins end up on the floor.
There are a lot of bins.
There's bins everywhere. I need to organize, man. Crafty Supply Black Hole. Yep. That's just, I do. I need an actual like paid assistant. I like my dirty brushes. Yeah, I don't mind them. Like having dirty blending brushes does not faze me in the least. I just rub them on a microfiber cloth, kind of in between colors, and move on. I was just thinking that maybe because mine are so saturated and it's been years that I should just give all of them a good washing, and then I won't wash them again for like however many years. But we'll see if I even bother, because who's got time for that? They're seasoned. Exactly. Exactly. Takes forever for them to dry. That too. Yeah, they do. Especially these ones, like because like that's what I'll use today is my little Simon Says stamp. But these ones that are very dense, it takes forever. Because I've only washed one, not these specific ones, but I've washed ones like this. Back in the day, I did it years ago. I washed some brushes because of, I think, the inks I used with them. The inks that I don't use anymore, but they went like crusty, and so I washed them, and yeah, they'll take days to dry. I will say, if you do wash them, after you're done washing them, make sure you have them set like this, like kind of prop them up, because you don't want like liquid sitting, because they're glued, so you don't want to set them face up when they dry. This expert tips from the person who doesn't actually wash her brushes. Honestly, in some ways, I'm almost tempted to just order new ones, and that's horrible. Anyway, yeah. Brutus Monroe has a nice blending brush cleaner and scrubber. Yes, I did buy his blending brush cleaner. I don't know why I bought it. Because again, am I actually going to use it? Anyway, we'll see. A bit of alcohol and a paper towel. Yeah, I honestly just microfiber cloth. And I give them a good scrub. I keep extras because like my microfiber cloths. Yeah, see? They just start to get full of ink. Yeah. And once it gets like fully saturated, I set it aside. I have a pile. That's the other thing I need to do is I have a pile of like microfiber cloths, my flour sack towels, all the things that I use. And I'll do a dedicated load of just my crafty stuff. I won't let these touch like our clothing, towel, anything like that, because they're full of ink. And I'm sure it would wreck absolutely everything. So that's another thing I need to do this. I need to do laundry for my office. I've just gone and bought more cloths because I was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for anything. Oy. But yeah, that's a great solution. Buy new ones. I know, right? Follow me for more life-changing tips. Like, I've seen people washing the brushes with alcohol. Ooh, yeah, no. I think this might ruin the glow in them. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's one thing to like take a bit of like you could like spray a cloth or a paper towel with a bit of like alcohol, and then give your brush a good run. I would not I wouldn't submerge these in alcohol 100%, and I would be very leery of even spraying, because yes, alcohol, if it gets into deep enough where the glue is,
it's a solvent.
Yep, it's a solvent, and that would not worth it. I would, if I was that desperate that I was considering like alcohol to clean these, I would just buy a new set of brushes. But I have multiple sets, and I'm just, yeah, mine are getting really just, anyway. Welcome to my lives of nothingness. So yeah, I just rub my brushes, because I do get asked that, like, do you clean your brushes right here? No, I don't at all. I really don't. Microfiber cloth, just go like this, move on. And then I have brushes, because I have like the Simon set, I have the rainbow set. So I keep a red, pink brush, a green brush, a yellow brush, and I just keep that for those colors. And then, yeah. So there we go. Yeah, buy a boatload and don't worry about them. Yeah, literally, I have multiple sets. The only thing I recommend, since we're on this topic, with blending brushes is I keep a set for dye inks. So these brushes I use for like my Pawsitively saturated inks, Concord and 9th inks. I can use these with my Altenew fresh inks, because those are, and distress inks. Those are dye, like water-based dye inks. Set of brushes for those. And then I have a separate set of brushes that I keep for my oxide / pigment inks. I don't really work with pigment inks that often. But yeah, because you don't want to mix brushes between the two types of inks. And the only time I would consider another set of brushes would be if you were using things like, because we were talking about this, I think in was it my last? No, not my last live. I did a video recently using like VersaFine Clear inks. Those ones are a whole separate formula because those are oil-based inks. I would keep a set of brushes like dedicated to that and not mix them. So hopefully that makes sense. I hold them under running faucet pointed down, rub with my finger, blot with a towel. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to like submerge them fully. Like even just a little bit of that, a little bit of just soap if you really wanted to like clean them, but again, it just is what it is. But yeah. Doodly doodly doo. Just soap, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, welcome to any newbies. Again, welcome to the chaos. We just finished yapping about blending brushes. And yeah, I say all these things. Am I actually going to bother cleaning them? Probably not. The only ones I might actually, though, is the ones for my oxide inks. Because the ink has really built up in those ones. And I'm just, my main thing is just kind of removing that excess buildup. Because I'm starting to notice when I'm using lighter colors. So like my yellow brush. I'll show you guys. My oxide brushes get, see, like they're starting to get like really saturated with ink. It's not the end of the world. They're fine. They work fine. But I'm starting to notice like, oh, this is the one I was talking yellow. Like I'm getting other color in it. But like mine are getting so saturated with ink that when I want to use a lighter color, I was noticing that specifically with yellow because yellow is finicky. When I use like a very light yellow, like Squeeze Lemonade Distress Oxide, because the darker, like more mustard will overpower. So that's the only reason that's got me thinking about maybe I need to give my brushes a spa day and just clean them out. But we'll see. I say all these things. I'm wasting everybody's time, and it's like, am I actually going to do it? Probably not. Yeah. Because yeah, who's got time? Who's got time for that? Does VersaFine Clear ink blend well? I think so. I think so. I have all the VersaFine. I have. Honestly, I'll show you. I can't show because I can't move my camera, but I have all the VersaFine Clear. They're beautiful inks. I use the Nocturne. I show this all the time. This is like my go-to black ink. This is the one I use for mostly everything except for alcohol ink coloring. I don't use it for that because this VersaFine Clear inks are an oil-based ink, and they're beautiful. And they have tons of colors. Like many, many, many colors. They're beautiful, beautiful inks. I have them all. I have used in the past. I honestly don't know. I would say they probably do blend fabulously. I need to play because they came out with new colors a few months ago. I think it was at some point last year. I got them. I haven't even opened them yet. But anyway, I keep them just stacked. I use them to prop my cards up when I take photos. They're great inks. They're beautiful. They have lots of colors to choose from. And that's what I use them for. So I just have stacks of them. And that's how I prop up my cards when I take my flat lay photos. That's what I use them for. So yeah, they're beautiful inks though. Beautiful inks. They're gorgeous. And because they're an oil base and they're a pigment ink, but they're not like other pigment inks. If you are familiar, like pigments, dyes are transparent, translucent, transparent. Pigments are solid and opaque. So normally when it says a pigment ink, it's very opaque, shows up on dark cardstock. The VersaFine Clear inks are kind of their own. They're another one of those ones where the formula is its own little category, because they're very like transparent, and it's obviously because of the oil base in them. And yeah, beautiful detail. I love these inks, and that's why. Or when they came out with new colors, I was like, ooh, add to cart, and then I haven't used them. Yeah. Yeah, Margot, we're in the same boat. Haven't opened them. Huh. I use the black all the time, the Nocturne, and then the dark ones, like the browns. I've got the fallen leaves, like the Versafine, like the browns, the black and the browns and the grays. I use the most because I use them to stamp outlines and color with. But the colors are beautiful. So stay tuned. Maybe this week. I make no promises. Maybe this week I'll actually open the new colors and I'll try some ink blending with them because I think I have another set. I'm just trying to look. I'm positive I have another set of brushes that I haven't opened yet. Because again, I would have a dedicated set of brushes for these because they're their own formula. If I can find that set of brushes, so that'll all depend on the poltergeist. Then yeah, I'll play with them and we'll just see. We'll just see. They're a permanent ink. They're beautiful. They don't blend as well as Distress. They're nice, but they need a lot of work to blend. That would also depend on your cardstock. I use, and that's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to use my Simon Says Stamp smooth white cardstock. Blends. Everything blends so nicely on this cardstock. That is also part of it. Certain cardstocks just are not as forgiving with inks. It depends literally on the brand and type of cardstock, because some cardstocks have coatings on them, some are just very absorbent. So never blame yourself when you're ink blending and it just looks like absolute crap. A lot of times it could be the cardstock. Okay. I use them to stamp sentiments and cards. Oh yeah, that's the main thing I use the Versafine Clair inks for, because they stamp. You want like good, like detail, crisp. Yes, I do. I love the Versafine Clair inks. Try them with the Better Press. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. Versafine Clair inks would work phenomenally with Better Press. I'm going to be pulling out my Better Press soon. Altenew came out with a new press plate set and I have it. I have it. Need to play with it. Need to hot foil it. We'll get to it. You guys, I'm all over the place. Welcome to the squirrel in my brain. Okay. Okay. I got a Simon Says Stamp tacky mat just recently. I'm enjoying it so far. Worried about cat hair messing up the sticky. Is it the sticky mat or is it the grip mat? If you're talking about if it's the grip mat, if it's one of these, rinse it off with water. Just don't let it soak in water. Any of the grip mats. Doesn't matter what brand. Does not matter what brand. Any of the photopolymer grip mats, you can clean them off with water and gentle soap if you need to, and then let them air dry. Don't let them soak in water. That's not necessary, and that can actually wreck the photopolymer because they can actually absorb and it can like damage it. If you're talking about you got the tacky mat, we talked about this in recent videos. Where's my tacky mats? Because I have multiples, as always, of all the things. I have it. It's here. Yeah. If you're talking about like this one, that's the one. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Because the other one is the stamp and stencil mat. And I'm talking, this one has like actual like low tech adhesive on it. This one, same thing. You can rinse it off in water. Just don't scrub it. And I don't use soap on these. And I get Bruce Monroe does have a cleaner for this as well, because Bruce Monroe makes these. But I don't. I just rinse it off in water. Like they get stained, mine is stained. Rinse them off in water and I let them air dry. They're good. Because yes, pet hair, especially cats, because cats like to just drag themselves all over everything all the time. That's what they do.
Especially when they're not supposed to.
Exactly. And don't dry them with a towel covered in dog hair. That too. That too. Have you tried the Cricut? No. I have one. I have the baby Cricut Joy. I don't use it for card making at all. It's actually under my desk. I got it and I got some little vinyl to do. I did custom labels. That was like a fancy project. Fancy to me. Project I did. Was that last year I did that? For the spice jars. I got a bunch of spice jars and I got the Cricut and did, printed off fonts and like labeled all my spice jars. That was a project. I never filmed it or shared it because honestly, y'all, not my favorite thing. In fact, I don't like doing that stuff. Like fiddling with the software. That's why I like stamps. That's why I prefer stamps and dies. I like the tangible. Sitting and fiddling with software. I don't even want to say, I don't remember how long it took me just to do spice jar labels. It took me forever. It was a process. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get to ink blending. Let's switch the camera down and then we'll just get to, there we go. I got a pile of stuff. I already lost the piece of cardstock I grabbed. What did I do with that piece of... Legit. What did I do? Did I throw it in here? I did too. Ha. Found it. Y'all. Okay. I got a piece of cardstock and some ink. We're going to do a simple blend and then we're going to 3D emboss it. That's what we're going to, that's what I'm going to do. So, and I got my little blending brush and I'm a fancy spicy. Yeah. Well, we got a lot. And I was absolutely losing my mind with our little pantry and the amount of containers I had. We have, all the random containers and Costco containers and bags of spice, all of it. And it was driving me insane. So I got like a bunch of spice jars, got a little Cricket Joy on sale, labeled them all. That lasted for what, a week? And now it's an absolute disaster in there again.
Yeah, but at least we don't mistake paprika for chili powder anymore.
That's true. Like everything's a little better contained, but it's another thing on the list. I need to like reorganize the spices and refill and clean it. Nah, I'll get to it someday. Someday. I don't like the Cricut either. I have one too much to figure out. Yeah, it just depends on the person, I think. Because over the years I've been asked a lot about that. Like the Cricut, the Silhouette, all those like electronic machines to cut and everything, and they have their place and some people love them and create amazing things. I was like, I will choose a wafer die over messing around with that always. I prefer the tangible. I don't like sitting there fiddling with software. I have to sit in front of a computer to edit my videos and do all the stuff 24/7. I like to just sit and get my hands inky and do the things. And I'm old, you know? I'm just old. That's another thing I say to people. I was like, I work with tech all the time doing this as a job, but man. Anyway. Okay, these are my colors that I picked out. I've got Bubblegum, Sweets, and Taffy inks. Oh, no, no, yet. Okay. And then, I know what I forgot to link to is my ink stand. Search up ink stand. Because that helps. I'll use my little ink stand. It'll be the one that has the bottom row, the rectangle with the Hero Arts ink. That's the one I'm using. Nope. Over. That one. That's the one I'm using because she's got different sizes. So my little ink stand to hold my ink. I just re-inked this ink pad, so it is extra super juicy. It was pretty dry. And we're going to do, you're not old. Some days I am ancient, okay? Other days, and we're all mixed in with the mentality and the sense of humor of a 12-year-old.
Yep.
So, yeah. Some days I am old, and then other days I'm like, no. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah. We got bubble game. We're going to start with our lightest. This is going to be just a simple gradient using the 3 colors that are meant to go together. So that makes it easier as well. And because I just literally like 30 minutes before we went live, I just re-inked this because this ink, all the light shades especially, I use a lot. And this one was getting dry, so I re-inked it. So these inks, when they're new, are very juicy, just as is, but this one right now. So I'm going to just use a lighter hand, kind of just tap it off onto my work surface a bit, and then we're going to blend. And it's going to be See, this is why I need to wash my brushes. I've got like red ink in this brush. Darn it. Darn it. We'll see. It should be fine. It should be fine. I wonder. You know what? Rub this more on the card or on the cloth. Yeah, see, that's the color it's supposed to be. This is why I need to wash my brushes. I'm just going to get another piece. It'll be fine. Can use those scraps for other things. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's what I'm talking about, though. Method to the madness. There we go. That's the color it's supposed to be. It's the lighter shades that I am... The reason why I was thinking about washing my brushes is because lighter shades of ink, it's a little harder. It's either that or I'm going to possibly get another set of brushes and then have them marked. So I'll have one set for the lighter shades, one set for darker shades. This is turning into just chaos. Is what it is. But there we go. There we go. Super simple. So we start with light. And then... Oh, everyone posting their ages. I know. We're all old. It's all good. It's all good. You guys are funny. Well, then I'm prehistoric. You guys are funny. Anyway, we're all old, but not. You know, it's honestly, age is, like I say, age is just a number. So then we got Sweets, our medium shade, which this one is also freshly inked. And I'm just going to start. And I always start my ink blending. That was another thing I was going to mention. I start off the cardstock, especially when I'm trying to get a smooth blend. That's also why when I'm doing an entire panel like this, you know, background, whatever, I prefer working on just this as glass, you know, my glass work surface versus sticking it to a grip mat. Because I find when I stick like my background, like if I was blending this and I had it stuck to my grip mat, the bristles kind of catch on the grip mat. And for me, it's just like a texture thing. I do that with die cuts, you know, but I prefer when I'm doing an entire panel to work on the glass because you get a smoother transition, if that makes sense. And yeah, so I can just like pick up that ink just right off the surface. I start off the surface of the cardstock and then I just bring it in. And then when I re-ink my brush, tap it off, especially if the ink pad is juicy, whether you've re-inked it or it's just a juicy ink. Tap off the excess, and then same thing. I touch my brush to the work surface, and then start swirling on the glass, and then bring it onto the cardstock. And that's how you get like a smoother blend. And then I light it. I'm trying to like explain because it's hard to show on camera, but when I'm getting that transition, without even thinking, I lighten up the pressure. Like I'm not pressing very hard with the brush. I'm just lightly, and then whatever's left on the brush, because you know I did my blend, and then whatever's left on my brush with really light pressure, I start swirling it into the next color so that I get that smooth transition. So yeah. You were planting sugar snap peas in the garden?
Oh man.
Stop it. Stop it. Seriously. We're supposed to get snow next week.
Yes.
We'll see if that, oh, I can tell for that craziness. Our like snow, we've had some nice weather and our snow's been melting. I have a little, it's small. It's like not even 2 feet high. I have a little lilac shrub that I planted in the front that this will be like its second year at least.
Yeah,
it's tiny and it's taking its time. It's a dwarf lilac shrub that I got, but it's a yellow lilac and I'm very excited. I'm hoping I will eventually get blooms on it, but he's little. But he was literally covered in like 3 feet of snow. He's already got little buds on him, like little leaf buds. So I was like, that's exciting. But then what's even more crazy is I planted snapdragons last year in my planters. And somehow, we haven't figured out how, somehow they migrated to in front of our house where it's just gravel. Like there's nothing there, no plants in that spot. And a couple of the snapdragons had popped up last year. And they were just thriving. They were dying in my planters, and these ones in the gravel were thriving. We have one, it's still living. It has survived our winter under 3 feet, no exaggeration, of snow. The snow's now gone, and we've got this like snapdragon just growing. I'm like, and I'm gonna leave them, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. But yeah, we're supposed to get snow next week, so it is what it is. We don't get warm weather till the end of May. Like that's when like the frost officially is gone. So yeah, all you people planting and enjoying the warm weather must be nice. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Everything's fine. Okay, there's our medium shade.
Oh, the Canadian geese are already back, so a whole bunch.
Yeah, the geese are back, and we're getting into spring up here, but it's still it's very like hit and miss. It's like we'll get some warmth, and then it's cold, and then it's warm, and then it snows, and anyway, snapdragons spread seed. Yeah, they do. It's just interesting to me, how they just will grow in very random places, and I love snapdragons, so it makes me happy. The fact that this one specifically survived under 3 feet of snow, and the entire winter is bizarre.
And as soon as the sun hit it, it started like growing again.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll take photos of it if it decides to like fully grow and bloom. I took photos last year of it blooming in the gravel. I love it. Anyway, now onto our darkest shade, which is Taffy. Same thing. Ink up, tap off, start on the glass, and then blend. Oh, and then I also want to take some Post-it tape because these are water reactive inks and I have very oily skin. This prevents me from getting fingerprints on the background because that does happen because these inks will react with like just the oils on my skin. And then we'll just keep blending with the darkest shade and then lightening up the pressure to start blending it into the medium shade. And the beautiful thing about these inks, and this also applies to Concord 9th inks and Altenew's fresh dye inks. I can only speak on those inks because those are ones I have and have used because people ask about other brands of inks and I was like, I don't know. I don't have them. I can't compare. But these inks do soften, and as they soften up, they lighten up a bit as they dry, but they smooth out as they dry as well. So your blends don't have to be perfect either. They kind of take care of themselves, which also just a major win. And then I can just pick up whatever ink is kind of left on my work surface. And then we're going to have a gradient. And then, doodly-doo. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about the weather and planting things.
Apparently cinnamon scented paper.
No. Wouldn't surprise me. We've had scented products here and there in the industry over the years. They've always been sort of a hit and a miss. Yeah. General hit and a miss. Like we used to have scented embossing powders. And there have been other just products over the years, and yeah. I've used them and then just kind of like, whatevs. So yeah, there's our blend. Just simple. So that was quick and easy. And then we just got to wipe up the mess before I get my elbow in it. Okay. And I'm turning off the heater. Hopefully the unpaid intern will survive. I'm starting to sweat. I guess if you get really cold, you can plug in the heated blankie because it's behind you.
Yeah, I got the slippers on. I should be fine.
Yeah. It's not super cold in here today. It's just a little colder than average because it was windy, which, not fun. Anyway, okay, wipe up all my ink. Oop, sorry. My camera freaks out when there's not something for it to like focus on. There we go. There we go. So, after I did that, I was going to emboss this with an embossing. Oh, there it is. I was like, please tell me I have my, I can't wait to see the big flowers yet. Oh, my peonies. Oh, yes. Yeah, I showed those. There's a few I showed in my lives last year because I would take cuttings and then I keep them on my desk. And yeah, my peonies get to be the size of like dinner plates. Love. That won't be till, gosh, is it like late June?
Yeah.
June or July around here before they start. It's late June, I think, when they mine start to bloom. And mine are later than everyone else's in our like area, usually. But yeah, anyway. Dotty Diamonds embossing folder. This is one of Simon's Says Stamps 3D embossing folders. So I thought this would create a really fun texture on this panel just to give it a little extra something something. So I'm going to line it up. And then for my Anna Griffin Empress machine and the Simon 3D embossing folders, I just use one cutting plate and the folder. Sometimes with my machine, I don't need it, but I've seen other people, sometimes they'll add the metal shim to this as well. I recommend starting without, and then if you find that you're not getting enough pressure or, the details not really showing up, then add the metal shim and then try it again. I've never really needed it. So for me, this is what works. There we go. Oh, love it. That's so fun. I don't know if oh yeah, there's 3 levels. These ones are the highest, those ones are kind of medium, and then there's the little tiny dots. How fun is that? Love it. So yeah, just simple pattern with a gradient. And then I'm going to trim this down a bit. Let's trim it down because I want my card base to frame this as well. So I'm going to knock off probably a good 1/4 inch off each side. Can you use the mica stain on a card base and then emboss it? Yes. The only thing you would need to pay attention to if you use like the distress mica stain, really anything, is it transferring. And that can happen with like ink and stuff too. So just pay attention. And the only thing the reason why I mentioned that is like you could like emboss it and then you go on about your day, and then the next time you go to use it, there could be like schmutz in your embossing folder that could get onto the next panel of cardstock. Not the end of the world. But yeah, with the mica stain, it could potentially add a little bit, excess to your folder. But yeah, it would totally work. And then, oh, thank you, Corrine. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, last one. Did I do that? I want to make sure I'm like actually paying attention here. Okay. There we go. So I took like a 1/4 inch off. So this is now like 3 3/4 by 5 inches, which, yes, because I want to use, or do I want to trim this down anymore? You know what? Let's trim it down more. Why not? Why not? Let's take another 1/4 inch off. We'll take that off. Do you have any problems with the plates warping with your Empress? If so, what do you do to fix it? No. I have not. I want to take a little bit off. The most that has happened with my plates, and I can't even show that because, let me just make sure I got this right. Okay, first off, this is now 3.5 by 4 3/4, so a little bit smaller. one of the reasons why a lot of us love the Empress is one, it die cuts like a bloody dream, you guys. I love my Empress. When I was cutting into the plates, I originally was not cutting into the magnet. One, it is not recommended, even which I find funny. Um, in the like manufacturer, the pamphlet, whatever that you get with the machine, it says not to cut into the magnet mat. However, Anna Griffin, whose name is on the machine, apparently she cuts into the magnet. And for the longest time when I first got it, and I used to say it in videos, I didn't. I did not cut into my magnet. I only cut into the plates. For me, because I do this as a job, I die cut like a crazy person and a lot. The plates didn't necessarily warp a whole lot, but mine would start to like almost bow a bit because I cut into my, whether you're cutting into your plates, and it doesn't matter what machine you're using, really. Empress, my Platinum 6, any of the machines. Rotate your plates if you're cutting into the plates, whatever it is. Like I move my dies around. I don't cut in the same spot all the time. I move my dies around and I rotate the plates as well. So I'll use this side and then this side and then, like rotate it so that you're getting kind of evening out. Because if you cut into the same spot always, you will warp your plates faster. But since I've been cutting into the magnet, my plates don't warp at all. The magnet does, and I kept this. I'm actually glad you asked that because I actually kept this to show. You will wear the magnet out. I wore this one out, and it like completely. And again, I cut into both sides, all over. But this is how you can tell: is I stretched out the magnet to the point where you can see how it's like curved. I started noticing, and I in fact it's in a couple of my more recent lives, is I wasn't getting clear cuts anymore, and I was having to like snip with my scissors because my dies weren't cutting through, and it was because I worn out this magnet, so I switched to a new one, and it's kind of hard to see, but see, this is the new one, but there's the old one, and how it's like so much bigger. Like it is, I would say a good half inch bigger because it's been stretched out so much because I've cut into it. This is for me, this is like about a year's worth of use. Because again, I do this as a job. For a regular crafter, cutting into this will probably last you years. But for me, this lasted about a year, which is impressive. So, yeah, you know. Um, but regardless of what you choose to do, die cutting plates are not meant to last forever. They get used up. But flipping them constantly, like always rotating, and regardless of what I'm doing, I keep one plate for cutting and I always keep one plate clean. That way I only have to replace like one plate that I'm cutting into, or in this case, I have to replace like the magnet. But this one I switched to a couple weeks ago, maybe something, a couple weeks, a month ago, and I haven't even started cutting into. But that's what I'll be doing is like flipping, and then I'll cut into this side for a while and just rotating always. And I place my dice here, and then here, and then here, and constantly moving it around, and that helps. So, what's the difference between this and a Big Shot? A Big Shot's manual. They do have an electric version. Yeah, and I can't compare. I don't have them. I don't have all the die cut machines. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. So all I have is the Empress, and then I have the Spellbinders Platinum 6 because I prefer, like, I like to use my Glimmer Hot Foil, like the Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil and the Better Press. Neither of those work with the Empress machine. That is the only drawback, in my opinion, with the Empress, is that you cannot use the Glimmer Hot Foil or the Better Press with it. Other than that, for die cutting, wonderful. The detail, yeah, and it's electric, so I loves it. I loves it. Okay, I think that was everything. Yes. Where do you get your plates? I get them. I just order them through Simon Says Stamp. The magnets, I need to contact Simon Says Stamp and see if they'll be able to carry just the magnets. They have sold, like, they sell a full set of plates. So you get like the clear ones and the magnet and the metal shim. And yeah, I'm hoping they can eventually get in just the magnet plates as well, or list like just the magnets, because that would be kind of nice. Because I ordered mine at some point last year. I ordered them directly from like the Anna Griffin website, and shipping was painful because these are heavy. Like I ordered like I think 3 or something like that, and the shipping was as much as the order. It was a lot, but these are heavy. Like the magnet plates for these, like these magnets are very thick for the Empress. They're not like any of the other brands I've used, and they're sturdy. They're sturdy. It's worth it. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. I think that is good. Yeah. Okay. So we got our background, and now he's little. Yeah, by cutting them down more, it shows more of the perimeter, which, because I'm gonna keep using. I love this background. It's the Pepita, and I don't know why. It's Minions. It's a Minion voice I hear in my head every time, like Pepita, as they're laughing. Ha ha ha, banana, Pepita. Anyway, I love this background stamp, and I want to stamp it onto my card base. This is Neenah Desert Storm, my go-to. I love. I have like stacks of Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. It is just the best neutral. So it's a top folding A2 note card. So 4 1/4, 5.5 inches. And then I got my little Pepita background. And I'm going to just stick it face up. You can use a stamp positioner, you know, Misty, etc. But when it comes to background stamps, this is how we used to do it, you know, back in the day. Back in the day when we had wood-mounted background stamps, you know, before stamp positioners were even on the radar. And face up, add my ink. I'm going to use Gingerbread Positively Saturated ink. And I'm just going to ink it up. I'm not really going to worry about the center at all because we're not going to see it. It's just the perimeter, but it also doesn't need to be perfect. I don't care. And then I'm just going to press my card front right into it. Just like that. Just to create... Oh, love it. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Love. And then, while I've got this sitting here, I'm going to stamp the inside of this card as well, because you guys know we need to have something on the inside. So let's just wipe this off, just like so. Now wipe with my hands. That's all. Yes, I used to use the baby Empress machine. I can see it. But it's underneath more stuff, so I can't reach for it. Yeah, the little baby Empress machine was what I had before I was able to get my hands on the big one. But the Spellbinders Platinum 6, or the Platinum is just it's huge. But the Platinum 6 is your standard die cut machine. I can show it. Just wait. I can show it. Why not? We're live. If you guys don't care. Yeah, we're unscripted. It's all whatever. That's the Spellbinders Platinum 6. This is your standard die cut machine. And it's manual. It's not electric. The sides fold out. And then you've got the platform of plates, which I have the base here, and I don't even know where my plates are because the only thing I use this for now mostly is just for my Glimmer Hot Foil and my Better Press is what I use this for. I don't really do, because if I'm going to die cut, I just use the Empress, you know. But if you can, like most people, if you can only get one machine, this is the one that I love. But there are plenty of options, you know, out there. I can't speak on the other ones because I don't have them. So I can't do a comparison. You know, people ask me about like even like the new version of the Empress machine because I have the original one. People have been asking me what I think about the new one. I don't have it. Like, it's expensive and it's a lot to ship to me in Canada. And there's not enough of a difference. I'll get the new one when my one finally kicks the bucket, but I'm hoping I can get a few years at least. But again, I do this as a job, so I wear out machines. Like I have broke more than one die cut machine. But yeah, this one is great. And it does, because it folds up, it does take up like less and it's got a handle, you know? And I keep it behind me because I pull this out when I do glamour hot foil and better pressing. This is my go-to. So, okay. Back to this. Yeah. Okay. So let's put the stamp back because I want to stamp the inside of the card with the Pepita background so that we got some of that pattern. But I'm going to go with the lighter shade. So I did Gingerbread on the front, and this will lighten a bit more when it fully dries into the cardstock. But I want, on the inside, I don't want it to be this intense. So I'm just going to use lighter ink. So, and then I'm also going to use, so we got the inside. I'm going to take that piece of Post-it tape. I'm going to place it right here so that I don't get any of the pattern past the score line. And then, my first big shot lasted 20 plus years. Yeah, I broke a big shot. This was years ago. In fact, this was the before times before I met Chris. I broke a big shot, and as a single mom and 4 kids and all the things, it was devastating. Like, and it was not easy to get a new machine, and that's when I got my first Platinum 6 because I was able to get my hands on one to replace it. And yeah, I like my Platinum 6. Okay, so I inked it up with the lighter ink. I need to like just concentrate here for a second. There we go. And then I'm pressing the inside of the card into this lighter ink. And there we go. And then and it didn't sound perfectly. I don't care. It's fine. So that'll be the inside and the outside. There we go. And then I just need to wipe this off so I don't get ink all over everything. So we can wipe him off. There we go. Did you toss it at someone? Honestly, because I talked about it. It was years ago though, so I couldn't even tell y'all where or when I talked about it. But I was die cutting fun foam of all things. You know, a lot of people, there was like that phase where everyone was die cutting fun foam because they would use that to stack behind instead of die cutting like 6 layers of cardstock. They would die cut fun foam and, you know, just adhere the layer of fun foam. And everyone was having great results with that. I always had an issue with it because for me, I found the fun foam stretched too much, so I couldn't adhere it behind my die cuts. Like I was so frustrated with it. It never worked for me. And then yeah, I broke my big shot just trying to die cut fun foam. It was just too much pressure and it popped the inner workings and like broke it. Oh, I was devastated. It was so awful. So, fun times. But that was, again, many, many years ago. And now I have more than one die cut machine, and I am content. In a perfect world, since I do this as a job, I would love to have all the machines just to be able to compare them. But yeah, I don't have a big enough budget for that. I don't have the space for that. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So there we go. There's my card base. And then we've got this panel. And then for other die cuts, I pulled out another oldie but goodie favorite that I've used. I used this in last week's live too. Yeah, I did. I used this in last week's live. This is the etched laurel leaves wafer die. And I'm just going to die cut this from white cardstock. Yes. The Simon white cardstock that I used for the ink blending. I'm going to die cut the leaves from that. Let me cut out a piece. Yeah, let's start with just one layer and we'll see how I feel about that. And then, so speaking of die cutting, doop, doop, and then we'll die cut. Okay. Yeah, I probably will never die cut fun foam again. In fact, I haven't since that time because I'm traumatized, you know? I am traumatized. Okay. Gotta be careful because this one's a little delicate after it's been die cut because it pierces all of that detail into all that detail. That's why I love this die set and why I use it so much. Doodly-doo. Just trying to keep up with the chat here. I wish I'd bought the Platinum 6 so I could expand my craft room to own the Better Press and Glimmer. I know, right? The Better Press and the Glimmer technically work in many other die cut machines. They do not work in the Empress. And I can't comment on other electric machines. But there is a compatibility chart or whatever that Spellbinders has on their site that says what machines work with them, but I can't compare because I have the Platinum 6 and it just works. So yeah. Okay, there we go. Got our little die cuts out of there. Oh no, that's not good. Yeah, no, someone's comment about breaking something. That's not fun. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the comments about like I love wafer dies that add whether it's like piercing detail like this or like the stitching detail or debossing. Like we have so many options now. Love it. Can never have too many options. Always makes me happy. See? Love it. I'm probably going to save this one. Maybe we'll put him on the inside. We'll see. We're not going to waste him. We're going to save him. I'm not going to add any color to this. I like the white. Just let it kind of pop on here. But I am going to... We're going to adhere this because, of course, we're going to add splatter. Of course we're going to add splatter. Yes, that's just what we do around here. So I want this in place and then that in place. The other elements, I don't want splatter on them. So let's adhere, which means I also need to... That's the other thing I need to do. I need to refill my glue. Oh, he's still half full. He'll be good. People were asking about this because I've been mentioning it in my like edited videos about like this getting clogged. I talked about the glue press, well, in tons of videos, but I did a review on it last year, whenever it was, a few months after it came out. So yeah, I have a dedicated review video on my channel about the precision glue press. And then yeah, to unclog it, I just use a pin because my glue clogs. Actually, this probably wasn't even clogged this time, but my glues clog. It just happens. I don't care. I keep pins off to the side in a little pin cushion, and that's it. Unclogged, good to go. move on about my day. But I do need to refill this glue bottle because he's getting used up. But I'm only gonna add glue just to like the spine of this, so that the leaves will pop up a bit and create a little bit more dimension. I can't even speak. Stop making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
And then we're just gonna commit. There we go. There we go. Get him in it. There we go. A little bit better. Trying not to move this around too much because the glue will show up otherwise with the ink. This glue does dry because I use craft tacky glue. It's not for everyone. It's another thing that we have a million options of nowadays, which is wonderful. Back in the day, we had like two liquid glue options. It was either the Tombow Monomalty or just like Elmer's glue, school glue. That's all we had. Nowadays, there's like a bajillion different brands of glue and whatever suits people. I use Simon Says Stamp's Craft Tacky Glue. It's like the thickest glue on the market, which is also why it's not for everyone. It's not the funnest for some people to work with, but I like it. I like it. There we go. And yeah, mine clogs all the time because I never, like, the lids for this have like a pin thingy in the lid. So if I was to put the lid on every night, it wouldn't clog. Do I do that? No. I'm too lazy. I don't care. I don't care. It takes me 2 seconds to unclog it versus the 5 seconds it would take to put the lid on. So yeah, I'm going to save myself those 3 seconds, darn it. Anyway, okay. Did Simon Says Stamp get rid of their intense black ink? I can't find on there. Ooh, no, check. Just search. You can go to their, well, you can do it through my links or whatever, but yeah. Just go Simon space intense. Hit enter. Scroll down. No.
Yeah, it looks like it's all gone.
That said, I can't confirm, but I would have to email Heidi about this. I will leave this out because you're talking about this stuff. This has been my go-to. I'm literally like
shook it.
I am. This is my go-to black ink for alcohol coloring. I have used this ink for like a decade. Whenever I forget when they came out with this. I purchased this a bajillion years ago. Simon's Intense Black Ink is my go-to. I'm gonna have to email her and ask her what's going on. That I'm literally like, oh, I can't not have my ink. But anyway, when you search it, this one pops up, which is by Simon Says Stamp, the Rainbow Splash line. I'm gonna ask her if the formula is the same. Because if it is, great. I don't care. Because it does say like great for use with solvent or alcohol-based markers, fast drying, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I'm gonna ask her because if this isn't available anymore, I'll just switch to using this because I already have it, and I haven't used this. I don't think but I've used it for just like little bits of blending and stuff. But like the ink pad is the same too. This one is a felt, linen top felt and ink pad, which you guys can't see. It's black. It doesn't show up. I'm gonna have to. I will contact them and ask them. I'll be like, what are you doing? I'm literally like, now my anxiety is like through the roof. But I'm glad you pointed out because now I'll ask them because I link to this all the time and I don't want to promote something that literally now you can't get. Okay, leaving those out, setting them onto my phone. I will contact her and be like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Where's my ink? Okay. But yeah, that one is a good substitute from looking at it. Yeah, because it's a dye-based black ink, which the intense black ink is the same. Great for use with solvents or alcohol-based markers. Bingo. So yeah, I'm gonna ask though if the formula is the thing, because if the formula is the same, then we're good. Like we're good. But I got to test that out. I'm not gonna recommend it yet until I test it out myself. Um, Add that to the list of things I need to do this week. I will stamp some images with that Rainbow Splash black ink and then color them with alcohol markers. And if it works the same, then we're good. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do. Oh yeah, everyone's going on about glues. Diddly do. I'm just scrolling back through it. Yeah. Oh, question. If you don't use a pin, does the needle pin built in the glue cap clear? No. Oh yeah. The pin in this, I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to show you guys. Okay. You can kind of tell. The pin in the cap is huge. It is the same size as the nozzle. Like it will, if you actually put the cap on, and you can use it to clear it out too. Like it will, you just gotta like, there's my nozzle, there's the pin, and then you just make sure and then screw it on, you're good. Yeah, it will, you could use this to clear out. You don't need a pin, but again, a smaller pin, a little sewing pin or whatever works just fine. Either one works. You don't need anything fancy, And if you actually put the lid on, shocker, it's not going to clog. Who'd have thunk? Okay, Big Mama foam tape. Still going on that. Now I'm literally like, I need to like finish this live so I can start sending some emails. Be like, what's happening? What's happening to the ink? We'll see. We'll see. I'll let everyone know once I know what's going on. Okay. So back to what I was doing. We're going to put a little bit of... I was sad recently because I could not find the Simon nested domed arches. I have the dome frames. Things like that. That I know for a fact because I literally just talked to Heidi about that when I talked to her like a week ago, whenever it was. With a lot of the basic Wafer, like sometimes things do get discontinued, retired. However, some of the popular ones that they're going to keep, because they had to switch manufacturers, they're having to redo a lot of things. So yeah, the domed arches, I would assume, but I can't speak for certain because I don't own the company. They might be redoing things because they have to it's a whole different process of whatever. So yeah, I would hope so because I like the nested domed arches are one of my favorite die sets as well. So yeah, there's just a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are shifting and having to be figured out, and we're just gonna see what happens. So yeah, there we go. Boop. There we go. Simon Hurley demonstrated the glue press when first came out. He had the cap glue itself to the bottom. Oh yeah, that can happen. That could happen depending on the glue you use and so many different factors. That's also another reason I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't think to mention that. After you've been using this for a while, and you've got glue, and again, it's going to depend, but these lids with the pin, there is a chance that you could almost fuse them together. Like the glue will solidify. I haven't had that happen, but again, I almost never put the lid on. That's one of the reasons why I just don't bother, because it would just be my luck that I actually start using the lid and then it glues itself shut. So I just keep the lid on its little stand and I unclog it with a pin and then we're good. Okay, let's make sure we get this where it belongs. So make sure we got some clearance. Got clearance, and then pop this into place. There we go. And then get rid of the hair. And now we're going to add splatter. Splatter. Hero Arts makes an intensified black ink. I love it. Yes, they do. Yeah. I don't think that's the one. I think there's a different version, but the Hero Arts black, this one, I have used this one in past videos, and this was one of the ones I've used with like alcohol marker coloring, and it works great. And I think they have I think the one you're talking about is a different version of this, like more intense. Oh, ha! Ha! You guys, I got all the things. Yes, this is another option. Hero Arts Intense Black. This is a good one. Yeah, I have so much stuff, you guys. I don't have enough time, and I forget that I even have it. I've used this one in past videos. It's been years. I'm sure it's fine. Is it fine? Yep, it looks fine. But yeah, this is a good one with alcohol markers. Another one that works really well is Gina K's Amalgam Black. I have that one. I also have that one somewhere. My only issue with the Gina K one is because I use the Simon Says Stamp smooth white cardstock. I found that her ink, it always smeared for me. And I think it was just that ink is not as compatible with my preferred cardstock, even with like heat setting it, everything. Maybe if a person like let it dry for like a day or two, sort of a thing. But yeah, this one is another good one. And then a lot of people love the Gina K. I think it's, Amalgam Black. And I know it's a good ink because I have used it. Because I prefer this cardstock. It's one of those little iffy issues, but I know I have it somewhere. Somewhere. It's in the pile. I couldn't even tell y'all. But yeah, this is a good one. That's a good one. Gina K Amalgam Black is a good option. And then, yeah, I'll be playing with this one to see, because this has been my go-to for literally like a decade. So I need to find out what's going on with that. I'm like annoyed. Okay, let's add splatter, because of course we need splatter, which means we need, I'm all over the place today. Yeah, yep, but it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Okay, we're gonna do white splatter first. Of course, we're gonna do more than one kind. I have the same issue with the Gina King. I would try heat setting it. Try heat setting it or stamp something ahead of time. I never have time for that, but stamp something and like let it dry overnight, sort of thing, and then see. But if it's smearing for you, a lot of times it just means like the ink is not compatible with your cardstock. It can also, like with inks and cardstocks and all the things, it can also deal like your climate. There's so many factors. Things can just get finicky. Okay. White gouache on my palette. We'll add a bit of water to it to thin it out. And we'll just do. There we go. Oh, I still got chunks of it in my brush that I don't want chunks of splatter. There we go. So then add that splatter. And because it's white splatter, and because I have a heavy hand, and because I just love splatter so much. Yes. Go big or go home with the splatter. Yep. And I literally just got a bunch of white gouache on my microphone.
Did you? Oh goodness, you did too.
Oh yeah, I got it good. Darn it. Okay, I need to quickly. At least it's gouache and not paint. Gouache is easier to clean. I don't really care, but at the same time I do kind of care. So this might sound weird to everyone, but apologies. There we go. I can kind of dab most of it up. I think this foam no, this one might be attached. No, it is glued on. Okay. Yep. Sorry, folks. Y'all just gotta give me a sec. Since I can't remove the foam to wash it, I'm just gonna quickly dab off.
Before it dries completely.
Yes. Since I can't, because if I could take the foam off and soak it, I would just wait till the end of live and then I could just soak it and it'd be fine. I have no idea how that sounds to you guys. Hopefully, it's not giving everyone like, woo. It's like this is Amy's ASMR. Here, I'll give y'all here's some real like, you know, whatever crap people do for ASMR. We've talked about that also in lives. I will never do those videos. I'm not good at that. That's not my thing. Like, okay. Crisis averted. We'll survive. I got most of it. We're good. We're good. Anyway. Yeah. Do not eat the spot. Yeah, don't eat it. Don't get it on your fancy expensive microphone. Yeah. You know, this is why you guys watch, you know, for all these life-changing tips and tricks. Okay, welcome to the chaos. Anyway. This is mostly dry. And then we're going to have black splatter because I can. Because I can. ASMR Amy's splatter McReel. Exactly. Exactly. You know, that's... If I ever did ASMR, it would be literally unintentional. Inadvertent. Unintentional. Not cool, man. Anyway, black gouache now. And we'll water this down. Just like so. Truth. Honestly, that would also probably be mine. Just me going.
I know, right?
Yep. Just watch my subscriber count to start to drop. I give everybody a heads up. Like, it's chaos around here, okay? Like, if you tune in for, you know, professional, demure, and mindful content, I am not the maker to watch. That's not what you're going to get around here. Like, boy.
I think that's why people want to watch you, is because you're not that person.
I guess. It's still, even though I've been doing this for so many years now, it still blows my mind that people actually keep coming back, you know? I can understand the first time. Sorry to the newbies, you know, I understand. It's like you show up and then you're just like, she's crazy, and unsubscribe, never come back. That I understand. Anyway, a little bit, trying not to completely overdo it with the black splatter. There, this is good. Okay, now clean off brush without slamming it into the microphone.
Oh no, it's the black stuff.
You wouldn't see it, yeah. And also, just another disclaimer, because people, I had someone commenting, and I know they meant well, but they were just like, you know, if you attached your microphone to the ceiling, I could have it like, so it doesn't show up on camera either, because that has legitimately bothered people. Like, I've had people get upset with me because you can see my microphone on camera, and I'm like, dudes, again, I'm in a garage. Like, I am very limited with the things we can do, and yeah, even though I do this as a job, this is as professional as I can get. And my microphone just is what it is. Just is what it is. It's a fancy microphone. It's expensive because that's the only thing that seems to work. But yeah, he's gonna show up on the screen and get in my way. I'm constantly knocking into it. Is what it is. Anyway. Chaos. Chaos, y'all. Anyway. You're crazy. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. This is me at my best, okay? And yes, that's another question I've been getting lately. I had someone leave comments and they were like, I have white paint. Like, do I need the gouache? No, you don't. I like this gouache. I've talked about these ginormous tubes that I bought from Altenew. Like, these are huge. Most average crafters don't need this much. I like gouache because it's easier to clean up. It is, you know, it's water reactive. Like, gouache is basically, you think watercolor, very water, and then acrylic paint. So watercolor can always be like re-wet. You can work it, etc. Acrylic paint, when acrylic paint is dry, it's permanent. You know, you can't re-wet it. So if you painted something with acrylic paint, it's there. It ain't going anywhere once it's dry. Gouache is in the between. It's kind of like a mix between watercolor and acrylic paint. Also, acrylic paint is opaque. Watercolor, for the most part, is transparent. That's a whole other. There's tons of videos about watercolor and all the things. And then gouache is in between, and it's can be sort. If you water it down enough, it can be sort of transparent, but it's more opaque. But again, if you've got like white paint, you're good. Do you need 15 types of white products to splatter with? No. Do I? No. But I have them, and I just whatever is what it is. Why should people even care? People just have their things, and they just pick up on things and whatever. I don't mind when they, ask about it and stuff. It's just when people are trying to like, well, you should do this or you should do that. And I'm like, dudes, if I could, I would have done it already. But again, I'm in a garage. We got like 12-foot ceilings in here because it's a garage. As it is, if you guys could actually see how my like face down camera is mounted, and I had to get up, I had to put a ladder on my desk. Chris had to hold the ladder as he's like sweating and just worried that I'm going to fall off and break my neck. And I was up on that ladder on top of my desk, 12 feet in the air to a jury rig. I've got zip ties up. Yep. So yeah, needless to say, I'm not going up there to try and mount my microphone as well. Oh, the chaos. Thank you, Twyla. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Acrylic fountain pen ink works really well too. Oh yeah, you guys, okay. Since it's just one of those days, it's one of those lives where I am literally all over the place, I will show you this. This is some of my splatter stuff. Some of it. Not all of it. That's how bad this is. When I say I am particular, yep. So I've got, which I haven't even used this, I've got Dilutions white paint in a big old container. I bought this years ago. Never even used it because, But when it comes to like, and then, we talked about this in a previous video, Copic Opaque White. This is one of the absolute best. Very hard to find. I don't even know if they make these jars anymore. It comes in a little tiny baby jar. This one's like amazing. We got Picket Fence Distress Paint. This has always been a go-to of mine. It works great. It's awesome. Love it. Got that. I've got this like Hero Arts white acrylic, opaque white acrylic spray. I purchased this. Haven't used it yet. We'll get to it. I have this stuff. I don't even think they make it anymore. White ink spray. I've got more Picket Fence white paint. I have Winsor Newton white gouache, permanent white gouache. This has been a go-to. Love this stuff. Works amazing. What else do I have? I've got, Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Haven't used it. Got it because I've heard good things. Here's one I have used. The Amsterdam acrylic ink. This one is a really good white. This works amazing. Love it. Love it. Do I need all of these? Heck no. So those are the white options. And then, my Altenew white gouache. Oh, Picket Fence Paper Splatter Opaque White. I've used this many times. I've used like maybe a quarter of the bottle. This works great as well. So those are the white options. Yeah, here's my original. My little tube of the Winsor & Newton. Like, I've used up, and it's literally got like, it looks like a dog got into it. Those are my teeth marks. Because it's fused itself shut so many times, so I'm just like, So, hence me upgrading to the big tube, which I've already used a ton of. So, and then I've got black option shimmer. I will at some point. I make no promises of when I'll get to it. I was gonna do a dedicated video on just this. But again, I make no promises of when, because y'all, I have 5 million things on my plate. It never ends, and my life is chaos. But yeah, I got all my gold options and white options and shimmer splatter, and there's perfect pearls in there, and just this is my splatter container. And that isn't all of it. So, you know. And I keep it within arm's reach because I do kind of sort of like splatter, you know? Okay. Um, it is. It's not for everyone. That's another thing that people have gotten very, very angry with me about. And I just want to remind people when it comes to card making, but just art, everything in life, we don't all have to like the same things. You know, it would be very, very, very boring if we did, because then it would just be awful and redundant. My thing is though, I don't understand why people need to get like angry at others for liking something they don't like. You know, the people that don't like splatter, I don't feel the need to go on and be like, oh, you know, I should start pestering other card makers and be like, ew, you didn't have splatter? What's wrong with you? You know, no, no. I get it, you know? So, yeah. Do a video on splatter alone. Again, it is on the to-do list. Like I said, I don't know when I'll get to it, you guys. Someday. But yeah, there's so far what we have. This has been just a live of chaos. But it's chaos of my own making. I like splatter. I like the texture it gives. I also personally really like it because so often I'll have a smear, you know, I'll get a fingerprint where it shouldn't be, or I'll smear something or just whatever. And it's like once you add splatter and muck it up a little bit, you can't tell. You either have covered it up or you just can't tell because you've got so much chaos going on. And that's why I love it. Yeah, if you don't like something to watch, yeah, the biggest thing is just to each their own. Or even like certain whatever it is, if you don't like the thing, but it's like you can still take away other things. It's like, yeah, you might not like the splatter, but it's like, oh, I like that color combo, or I really like that wafer dye, or whatever it is. It's like you know, take the little nuggets of good, and then the parts you don't like, whatevs, you know, whatevs. Because thankfully, I can't force everyone to like all the same things, and I wouldn't even if I could. It would just get boring. So we have that. And then, oh, sentiment. I was like, there's things we need. Yeah, sentiments. Okay. There we go. I've shown these many times. In fact, I think I've shown them in lives. This is the EZ Strips rectangles wafer die set that Simon Says Stamp released last year, I think. I don't remember when these came out. It was a while ago. So that's just the die set. And I did post a link in the description box below. I just searched up what all they have because there's a stamp set and then there's several different pre-printed sentiment strips that work with this die set. So it's another one of those things where it's like you have the base product and then there's little add-ons over time, you know? And I like that. I like options. So I pulled out the thank you strips, whatever they're called. I don't even know. They're called something. Easy reverse thank you. There we go. So I haven't even used the reverse ones yet. And then just another side trip, because I do get asked this. I use these little storage pockets. I use these for my sentiment strips because there's a lot of them. Simon has, regardless of the EZ Strips ones, they have like 5 million pre-printed sentiment strip packs. And I store them in these, which, there they are. They just come in packs of 10. They're Positively Everything clear pockets. I put a link to those. I was thinking ahead when I did my links today. And they're just little clear pockets, and they're 5 1/4 by 6 1/4. And they're reinforced. The little edges, they're reinforced. They're reinforced, and then I keep them stored in the little storage boxes, which I really like these. I need to order more. These come in a set of 3, and they come flat. And then all you do is, and they're like textured, and then you just open it up, and then you reinforce They're all pre-cut, pre-scored, all the things. So then you just reinforce like that, and then like that, and then like that. So then you got that, and then all you do is go like this. Here, let me move everything a little. There we go. Okay, so you got that, and then there's 2 little tabs on these panels, and so then all you do, there's 3 openings, so you just go like that and like that, and then this little tab goes into the 3rd one, and you got a little box, and this will fit, I think it'll fit 10, depending on how, because I put 2 packs in these, so I have the regular ones and the reverse. I stick them into one, and then these fit in there. And then my plan, the other thing on my to-do list, is I'm going to print labels because I need to organize, and then like have like birthday theme. Thank you. Stop snickering at my plans for organization. He knows damn well I'm never going to do it. Man, okay? I'm gonna someday.
You try.
I'm gonna be like 90 years old and like, I'm gonna organize this week, and he'll be like, Anyway, I will someday.
You can't organize from a nap.
But yeah, I thought I would show that. So anyway, and then I missed, there was something about, yes, truth. Christina Werner's new leaf stamp set has splatter stamps. It does. Kathy Zielski used that set on her live on Wednesday earlier this week, and love it. Love it. Back in the day, and the funny thing is before I did like real splatter, but way, way back in the day, I'm talking like close to 20 years ago, I had a little stamp set, a little red rubber on wood stamp set that had splattery type, and I remember I loved it back then. So I come by splatter, honestly. I used to use that little stamp all the time. So yeah, I like splatter, man. Always have. It is my thing. You will stay positive. I know. It's one thing to be positive and optimistic, but sadly, the unpaid intern is very well aware. And really, he also, because he lives with me, he has to walk through this entire house.
Yeah.
And just all the things on my to-do list constantly. And me being like, I need to organize this, everything.
You need to organize your to-do list.
I need to organize my to-do list. And I do. I do sometimes. And then I've got like a stack this high of Post-it notes with all the you guys. I need an assistant. My assistant needs an assistant. I need therapy. My therapy needs therapy. We're still waiting. We were talking about that before we went live. We're still waiting on the sugar daddy.
Yeah.
I need one of those too. I would like a sugar daddy who would just send me large amounts of money in exchange for my winning personality. I'm waiting, Anyway, I'm going to die back to the card. Oh, and Christy says that the to-do list can move to your to-do list.
Oh goodness, my to-do list is just as bad as
I
yours.
know, his to-do list never ends for both of us. Okay, we need sentiments. I think I'm going to use... We've got thanks so much. Thank you. They're kind of similar. I want to do this one. Yeah, because I'll use one on the outside and then one on the inside of the card. So the cool thing about these is, and these again, for those that aren't aware, with the Simon Says stamp one, because it does, other brands do pre-printed too, and you need to ask the other brands if it doesn't say in the listing, like the product listing of the things. But I know with the Simon Says stamp pre-printed ones, they print these with toner ink onto their cardstock, so you can foil these with toner reactive foil and either a heat laminator or like the Fuse or Mink machines. I don't do that like ever, really. I don't get very good results when I do it. Other people get amazing results. I struggle with that type of foiling, but you can foil these. And same with these ones. You could foil them, and just the sentiment obviously would be foiled because the toner ink is just the black area. But I just use them as is. So the cool thing with the EZ Strips one, so these are the reverse thank you, and it says EZ right on it, is you can use it with the wafer die. What you do? I start doing something and I see something else and I go to that. Yep, that's me. I am the dog from Up. I am constantly like squirrel. I start organizing anything, you know, and then I come across, it's like, ooh, I forgot I had this wafer die. And then I sit down and start playing and making something else. It's like that with everything. So we got it all. We just got to get it lined up. So make sure I get it straight and in place, just like that. So I got the wafer die and the sentiment strip, and then I'm just going to run this through, just like so. And yes, distracted all the time. Name of the game. And there we go. I have got a whole pile of sentiment strips now. And all the ones I don't use, because obviously I'm not going to use all of these on this card, I'm going to stick in the back in the package. So then next time I go to use this, they're already cut apart, which is fabulous. Okay. Thank you. Is that the one I want to use? Probably. Probably. You're the best. You've been so kind. Yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah, we'll do those two and that one. There we go. So, all the extras, and I'll leave this out because we're going to die cut something else in a second. So, I can put these back in their little sleeve. Like that. And then all the rest of them stick in there. There we go. And that's actually my plan. Yeah, I'm going to have a dedicated... That was the reason why I pulled this out in the first place. I'm going to have I'm going to dig through my stash when I get to it. And find all the other ones that coordinate with this. And I'm going to keep them all in one of these. And then I will eventually label it with, like, it'll say like Simon EZ Strips or whatever. So that, and then I'll keep the die set in here as well. That's the plan. That's the plan, you know? So then it's all in one spot. Because, yeah, that's what I hope to do anyway. Let's just move that all out of the way. Anywho, so we have all that. And then with these, I already managed. Did I just put one back in the container? Dudes. Thanks, you're the best. I already managed to grab the wrong one and stuck it back in here. Thanks, you're the best. Yeah, that one. That one's going to go on the inside. Goodness. Okay, there we go. So, with these, it's not as obvious as when you trim these like with just like my guillotine or any other paper trimmer. But more often than not, when I do the reverse ones like this, because they're printed in black on white, I take a black marker, just my Memento black, Memento, tuxedo marker, whatever it's called. And I take just the brush end and I just run it along the edges of the cardstock. And that just fully coats any of the exposed white edge. It's a subtle thing, but it gives it just that extra little finishing touch. So I do that. There we go. And then I'll do it with this one as well. The one that goes on the inside, I'm not too concerned about. So just the wafer die and strips are cool. I wasn't aware of the die for the strips. Yes. Yeah, and I did link. I got it linked below. It says, I think it says like Simon Says Stamp EZ Strips Products, something like that. And if you click on that one, it will take you to all the things they've done so far. Because yeah, there's one stamp set, or stamp, because it's one stamp that you can stamp and then use the dies for, and then the rest are all just in various pre-printed sentiment packs. Yeah, they all work with the wafer die. Love it. Love it. Okay. So, hello, Kabir. Yep. Okay. So, oh no, I was going to die cut more. That's what I was going to do. I was going to die cut. Where did it go? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Another oldie but goodie favorite that I have used a million times over. The etched dragonfly wafer die. I love him. He's so cute. And he works so well with everything, in my opinion. So I'm going to take just a little scrap of black cardstock. That'll work. Just need a little piece of that. Yep. Oh my goodness, I've used this die because I've never cut the tabs apart from the body and the wings. I've used this so much, I actually did manage to snap it apart. Oops. Oh well. So we're going to use black cardstock for his body. And then for his wings, I'm going to use... I always love a good shimmery vellum for little critter wings. Love. So that's what we're going to use. So I'm just going to take... Is it raining?
It sounds like it is. I don't see anything, but dang, if it doesn't sound like it's raining.
It does sound like it's raining. The wind is literally just howling, but yeah. So anyway, we're going to take a little bit of the shimmery vellum, and then I can line these up so I can do this all in one pass with my die cut machine. There we go. So I can die cut the wings from the shimmery vellum. Shimmery! And then, yes, if y'all don't follow Kabir, let me show you all. If you guys don't follow her on Instagram, seriously, you should, because her cards are freaking amazing, and I will show you guys. Because I always get asked when I mention people, like, how do you spell? Okay. That. She goes by Love to Papercraft. So search her up on Instagram and follow her because her cards are amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, follow her. Okay. Thanks. Back to what I was doing. Run that through. I get to meet Coolbeer in person. She's coming to my area next month. Yeah, next month is May.
It is.
So we've been talking. Her and I are going to meet up in person. Crazy. So yeah. There's our little dragonfly wings. And this is another one that does the etching detail. I'll show that in a sec. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. I am all over the place. Huh? Okay. So the wings and the body does it too. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. The body has etching detail as well. But yeah, all that pierce detail. This is another reason why I love this little die set. He's so cute. He's so cute. So yeah. Another one that I almost should get a second one. I'm still hoping. That's another thing on the list is I want another size. I would like a smaller one. I think he's a good size, but I would love to have a smaller one in the exact same style, but just slightly smaller. Yeah, I will add that to the list of all the things that I need to contact them about and be like, excuse me, I would like this and this and this as per usual. There we go. So yeah, to adhere this little guy, I just put the teensiest bit of glue just behind the middle, like the body portion of this. And you need just the tiniest bit, not much at all. And I even sort of dab off the excess. And then you just press them into place like that. And then you do the same thing with the other piece. A little bit of glue right there. Dab off some of the excess and then press him into place on that one. And then we've got this adorable little dragonfly. Just in with his little shimmery wings. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we got our little dragonfly. We've got our sentiments. Just like so. How do I want to place him? Yes, I would love to have a slightly smaller one because then I could do, yeah, it would look so cute to have a smaller one. Now I just got to see how I want him to go. I think he's going to fly away from the sentiment. I think that just looks better. Yep. Just commit, Amy. Stop overthinking it. Let's just put a little bit of adhesive behind the body. There we go. There we go. And then, yeah, the shimmer vellum, it's a must-have. I literally don't put it away. I keep it on my desk. It's pretty. I love it. I've purchased extra packs of it so I never run out. You know? Might not be able to find that watercolor paper, but you can be sure I'll find my shimmer vellum. Anyway, okay. Little adhesive dots for the sentiments. I'm pretty sure these will fit. Yep. Just on the back of this. Just like so. He is the perfect size. I would love a smaller one, but he is like the perfect size for my card. That's why I use him all the time. He's not too big, not too small, but I would love a slightly smaller one to have them together, you know, and to do like little clusters and stuff. All right, let's do our sentiments here. Get out of the way. There we go. Just make sure that's straight like that. Yes. And then these ones I'll just trim down into slightly narrower little strips. There we go. Shimmer vellum is hard to find in colors. Lawn Fawn carries some colored ones. Yeah, I ordered. Lawn Fawn released shimmery vellum in like, it was like 4 colors. It was like a pastel purple, a blue, a yellow, pink. Oh, and green, I think. 5 colors. Simon Says Stamp carries it. I placed an order not too long ago and I may have ordered all the colors. I was like, shimmer vellum? Of course I need that in my life. Add to cart. So, yeah. And I was literally, because for things like this, I was like, ooh, my little dragonflies would look so cute with like purple shimmery vellum wings. Hello.
Purple shimmery vellum?
Yes.
Dang.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Purple is so your color, too.
I do like purple. I can't help it. Okay. And we'll add that one. Just like that. There we go. So got that. And then, can you color the back of Shimmer Vellum with alcohol markers? Yes, you totally can. Did I need to order that shimmery vellum? No, but you can. You can use alcohol markers. I've shown this in videos in the past, and so this would be like the back. So you could just color it. The thing to remember is with alcohol markers, you would just have to test it out on a scrap. They'll be significantly lighter than you think on vellum. And then since you're doing it on the back, like what you see, like see how light that is. So you generally will have to go significantly darker. So that was V15 of a Copic. Here's V25. Yeah, like they barely show up. Hence me ordering the packs, because even with really dark colors. There we go. This is B39. So, yeah, you totally can. It's just going to be, see how that's the back? It significantly lightens. So it won't be the same as the actual, It's still pretty though. And heck, you could technically cover the front. It just depends on what you're doing, you know? But yeah, you can tint your vellum, any vellum. It doesn't have to be shimmer vellum. You can tint any vellum with alcohol markers. It works. I've done it. It works fine. So, anyway. Doodly doo. What am I doing? The inside of the card. We've got, since we have this little extra leaf die cut, we'll add that like that. Just something simple. So we can add some glue to this one. Just like this. And we'll just adhere that to the inside. And then this little sentiment strip will adhere. Doop doop. Like that. Line that one up. Like that. And glue everywhere because I do that. Whatever. There we go. So there's the inside of our card. Make sure there's no glue. Last thing I want is to glue the card shut. That would not be cool. There we go. So there's that. And then, but wait, there's more. I'm going to add stickles and some bling. I gotta zoom in so you guys can actually see the stickles. I've been like on a stickles kick lately.
Stickles?
Yeah. Glitter glue. See?
Yeah.
See? It's glitter glue. Glitter glue for adults. Literally. This one.
It was for adults.
It is for adults. Although really, kids glitter glue is great, but this stuff's nicer. Twinkle. I used this in a recent video. It's just pretty. So all I'm going to do is add just little bits of it here and there. Just a bit, not a ton. And then I like to dab it with my finger. Just to thin it out a bit. Because you can build like a fair bit of dimension with stickles. So it can be raised up and glittery. But I like to dab with my finger. And it dries a lot faster when you do it that way. So I'm just going to add some here and there to the leaf die cut just to give it that little extra something. Just like so. And then dab it on. Just like that. Ooh, get it off that sentiment strip because I do not want it on there. Yeah, and then I can add some to the body of the dragonfly. This I will not dab. I'll just leave it as is. And then there will be glitter. There we go. Yeah, see? It's just pretty. It's just pretty. So we added a bit of that. And then last, but certainly not least, after this live has gone significantly longer than I planned because I went on so many side quests with y'all, which is fine.
A little bit of bling.
Yep. Got the boop dish that my friend Mari gave me. So I got my little boop dish that I usually keep snacks in, but I made sure to empty it out before I went live. We're going to add some clematis bling to these. So while I'm doing the bling, the unpaid intern can pick a winner for this card, which I forgot to mention that. For those that are new, yes, during my live streams, we give away the card I'm making. Apologies. I'll give everyone a minute before he actually goes in there and picks. It's in the description box below the video. It's just a Google form. Click on it. You can put your name and address in there. And again, disclaimer, I do not keep those forms. Like once I've mailed out the card, we delete that. I don't keep anyone's personal information. I don't share it with anyone, sell it, anything like that. Like I delete all of that. Just disclaimer there. So you can put your name and address in, and then the unpaid intern picks a winner during the live, obviously after I'm done talking. And then I'll mail the card out to you because why not? It's fun. Diamond is my go-to stickles. Yeah, diamond is pretty. I have all the let's just, since to give everyone time, this is the other thing I have that I keep close by of the what I call the clear stickles. So I've got two of Stardust is my favorite because I've got more than one. Because I have this Dilutions one. This is Dilution Stardust as well, I think. It doesn't say, it just says Dilutions, but I'm pretty sure this one is just, yeah, it is. It's Stardust. So these are the same. These three. I have 3 bottles. Which one's my favorite? But there's Stardust, there's Crystal, Unicorn, Icicle, and I think that's it. And then Twinkle. And they are different. They are different. So Stardust Stickles is just a basic kind of iridescent. Crystal has more of a green reflect. See the difference? And then Unicorn is very kind of gold. See? And then Icicle is a bit chunkier. A little chunkier of glitter than these ones. These ones are a lot finer. So Icicle has got a bit of a chunkier. And then Twinkle is for me, is the newest one I got. And this one has a blue reflect. So it just kind of depends. Do you need all of them? No. But also they're cheap. They're like $2.50 for a bottle. And they last forever. Like some of my bottle of Stardust, I think I've had for more than 5 years. Maybe even more than 10. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. As long as the lid's kept on, these seem to last forever. So, but yeah, they're cheap, and so there's no excuse. But yeah, they just have different reflex. Oh, isn't there diamond stick? Maybe there is diamond. Am I completely... Twinkle, Stardust, Crystal, Unicorn, Icicle. Maybe there is diamond. I can't remember. That sounds familiar. Maybe there's one I need to get. Is there diamond? I don't even know, you guys. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Someone will have to tell me. If there's diamond, I'll have to get it. Because I remember there being diamond stickles. Crap. I'll have to add that to my next order if there is. I don't, you guys, I can't. But yeah, they just have different little reflex. And it gets into I get personal preference, color. If I had done, say, a green background, I probably would have used unicorn stickles or crystal. Crystal would have worked really nicely. And then if I had done blue, I probably could have done Stardust. It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. It's just... Okay, there is diamond. Crap. I need diamond stickles as well. I knew there was one I was missing. I think when I ordered the Twinkle, I was looking for diamond. I don't know. You guys. too many options, but that's what I love. I love having options. I used to have every single color of stickles and what was the other kind? The chunky stickles in the bigger bottle. There was a name for those. I forget what they were called. I used to have all of those too, and I don't know what happened to them. I stopped using them for a few years, and now I don't know where they went. But I love stickles. They're beautiful. Okay, I think diamond was one of my other favorites. Okay, I'm literally writing that down right now. Because now I'm going to have to look for it and then just probably order it because I don't know what happened to it. Add that to my list of what to order next. Diamond stickles. To order. Another sticky note that's going to get piled up with all the other sticky notes, but you know, whatever. I'll hopefully be able to grab a bottle of that. So let's add our bling now that we've been distracted yet again. Welcome to the chaos. These have little. We'll put some of these little blingy bits in and amongst my little die cut pieces here. I'll stick one over there. I'll stick one over there. And stick that one there. I'll stick one over here. And then one over there. There we go. Yes, because I like tucking the larger ones underneath things for whatever reason. I don't know. That's what I like to do. Diamond is my favorite. Diane Reveley. Yeah, Diane's are the same. They're just because it's the same as the Stardust is the Diane. Where did it go? Yeah, because that's the Dilutions one. But yes, hers I think are the same as the other ones because like this one is Stardust Stickles, but it's labeled like for her line because her stuff is manufactured by Ranger as well. But yeah, I had ordered this one because I was curious, and then when I got it, I was like, okay, it is the same as Stardust Stickles, and then yeah, she probably has if she has a diamond one as well. I'm just gonna have to look. I'll have to add it to my next order. They're pretty. They're pretty and sparkly. Yes. Okay, the chunky ones, ice stickles. Yeah, and they were bigger bottles than this. They were about this big. And then they had like the bigger, chunkier. I used to use those all the time. My old videos. Because I had all the colors of ice stickles. I don't know what happened to them. Makes me sad because I had them all. That was one of my, random side gigs of collecting stickles because I loved using them on everything. But yeah, ice stickles, and they were bigger. They were bigger bottles because there was much chunkier glitter. Oh, and they had all the different colors. I had them all. They were amazing. Love them. Let's adhere the bling before I forget because I've done that before and I go to lift up the card and everything falls off. I was like, good job. Good job. So let's get out of your spot there. Let's add some glue. And I can tuck these into place. Just like so. Here and there. And like that. I'll hide that one kind of under there a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, and then I just got to dump these guys back in. Oop, I made a mess. Get those back into their little bag. And there is the finished card after a ridiculously long time because I went on, as usual, like very tangents and side quests and so much chaos. Yeah. Anyway, there's the finished card. So for all the chaos, it was a lot of very simple things, just a gradient ink blend, 3D embossing folder, background stamp, splatter, our leaf die cut, like all that dimension without adding any foam or anything. Because especially with piercing detail, it's another reason why I like wafer dies with a piercing detail. All that piercing creates kind of forces cardstock to kind of curl a little bit, and that's another reason why I love it. So it just naturally kind of curls up. And then adding the stickles also, as the stickles dries a bit, it so we've got all that glitter from the stickles. And then splatter, of course. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the inside. Super fun. This was fun. For all the chaos. And my desk is an absolute disaster. I don't know if I can zoom out to show you guys. Just wait. A little bit more. That's just a brief what you can see. It's worse than that. So, just is what it is. Okay, let's zoom back in. Apologies if this makes anyone gives anyone motion sickness. There we go. And then we can go to that. Okay. Who am I sending the card to?
Today's winner is Nora from Ontario.
Nora in Ontario.
Yep.
Woohoo. I will mail this out at some point. I was going to say this week. I make no promises. It depends on, whether or not I'm able to leave my house, which I don't do very often, really. But yeah, I will mail it out, and yeah. Nora? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Nora? Okay, cool. I will mail this out to Nora, and then it's another thing on my never-ending to-do list. I do plan on I'll do a little separate card giveaway, not connected to a live, because I do make a lot of cards. I get asked that a lot. What do I do with all the cards I make? I send out the ones I make during my lives. We pick winners. I send them out to people. I send cards to my Patreon supporters. I send a lot of cards to them. And then, personal use. Sometimes, depending, I have sent cards to the brands I work with for them to display when they do, conventions or what have yous. Things like that. But I do have a lot of cards because I make a lot. So yeah, I was planning on I thought since people have been requesting that, and yeah, if it makes people's day, why not? I'll send people cards. So I thought I would do a giveaway. I'll pull out a stack of 10 or 20 cards, and it'll be similar to how we do it in lives. I'll just do a Google form. I'll be put in your name and address. I'll pick, a handful of random people and just fill out cards and send them. Because why not? It's so nice to get a card in the mail, because we get so much other crap.
So much other
between
crap.
The flyers and the bills and all that stuff. Ugh, gross. So hopefully in the near-ish future, again, it's on the never-ending to-do list. And thanks to Unpaid Intern for helping. And
I work so hard for my snacks.
He does work hard for his snacks. Thank you, Nora. Yes, I did mail out, and I posted it on my YouTube page, and I post on my Facebook page. I take photos, photo with me with my cards, just to prove to everyone. It's I do actually send these out. It's got to commemorate me leaving my house, because it honestly doesn't happen very often, really. It's I'm in here 7 days a week working, and also I'm not a people person, really. Chris and I went out briefly yesterday. We got groceries, and we actually got a chance to go for dinner, and that was a lot for me. He was like, "You did it. You mingled with the people." And I'm like, "It was awful. It was so awful." But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys enjoy. Not only I appreciate y'all sitting through the chaos, watching my lives, watching my edited videos. The thumbs upping and the commenting, the interaction, all of it. I appreciate it a ton. It's nice, and it helps, and it means a lot, especially lately, I've noticed. And I wanted to address that. There's a lot of really kind comments and people saying things like, thanks to you, I got into splatter, or someone commented and they were like, I struggled with making, I think it was a flat shaker card recently, and they had found one of my older videos. And they were like, your instructions helped me actually make this thing that I struggled with. And I was like, I'm so glad. That's why I do what I do, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that people actually get something positive, not just, you know, witnessing the chaos. I'm glad people actually learn some things, you know? So I really only leave my house if I have a doctor's appointment. Yeah, same. I'm kind of the same way at this point. I don't leave my house very much. Yeah, it is. It's too peoply out there. Um, so yeah. Do. Yeah, neither is your post office. Do you really have that many friends? Yeah, I was asked that when I was sending it. And I was sending out a batch of cards to my Patreon supporters. And she asked that. She was like, "Do you actually have that many friends?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's so funny. You guys are funny. But yeah, I'm just scrolling through, making sure I don't miss any questions or anything. Um, yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed, and the comments about, you know, those that comment say like, "I hope I win. I would love a card." Those sorts of things. Like, it's been brewing in the back, and I was like, because I would like to give away more cards. Because why not? If people appreciate them, I'll do it. You know, I'll fill them out and mail them out to people. So yeah, add that to the never-ending to-do list.
Never ending.
But yeah, to do. I know I have it mentioned many times in my stack of sticky notes and all the things is a card giveaway. So stay tuned. I will figure out a way to do that. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be similar. I just posting because my biggest thing too, and that's also why I do it the way I do, like even in the lives, like why we do the form, because I don't want people posting their personal information like in the comments or anything like that. Um, because like that's why I stopped doing giveaways for so long, because even putting the word giveaway on anything, whether it's a video title or a blog post or anything on social media, it triggers the bots and the spammers. And so again, disclaimer, if I'm ever doing any sort of anything, whether it's a giveaway or not, I will never, ever ask for financial anything. I will never ask, you know, like, I need you to help pay for shipping or anything like that. Never. I will never. And most other makers, unless it's specifically laid out like a shipping charge or something, like people will not ask for that. Because I've had that happen, you know, people, spammers replying to comments saying like, "You won," like because they'll clone my account, like they'll take my profile picture and they'll like name their YouTube channel very similar to mine, and they pretend to be me, and that gets me so riled up. The anger, the rage, because people have done that and like trying to get people to give their financial information. And I'm like, oh, heck no. So I stopped doing giveaways for a really long time because of that, because it's exhausting to try and keep on top of that. And nothing makes me angrier than someone trying to take advantage of others. So yeah, I will never ask for your financial info. I do not use WhatsApp. I will not like try to talk to you personally in some weird, no. Makes me mad. So yeah. I randomly send cards just to say hello to people I may have lost touch with. Yes. Love it. Do it. You know? My big thing, and I've talked about this before, when it comes to making cards, for me, the joy is in the making. The process. Whether I'm doing it like, obviously I do everything on video, whether it's live or, you know, my pre-edited ones, whatever. The joy is in the making. And then sending it out to me is just like kind of gravy on top. It's just a bonus. And I love just throwing it in the mail and then it shows up and someone just gets a little surprise in the mail. And that's the best. I love it. I love it. No one could ever be Amy. You're cute. Yeah, you guys, we've talked about this. Like, I need to clone myself just to get more things done, but the world doesn't need more of me. We don't want to know. And yeah, spammers are just It's exhausting. I deal the amount of like spam crap I have to deal with just doing this as a job, because I keep a close eye on, you know, my comments. I try to read everything, commenting on my blog, all the places. I try to keep a really close eye on all of that because it never ends. It never ends. Spammers trying to advertise crap or trying to mess with people on my Facebook page. I keep a close eye because it's always those fake accounts of like a widowed military doctor surgeon man that's just looking for friendship. No. Every single one of those, block every time. And they like to respond, they like to reply to people's comments, you know, like, oh, you look so interesting, can you add me as a friend? Like whatever the newest form of trying to get around censors and all of that. And yeah, I put a lot of time into keeping an eye on that stuff and like getting rid of them immediately. It drives me nuts. Urgh. So yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you all. And then yes, yeah, I think we're gonna still go live next Sunday. It's Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we will be. I'm pretty sure we don't really do anything.
No.
Like the most we might do is we'll probably maybe we'll get a ham and throw that in the oven.
I would love that.
I know, right? But that's something that doesn't take very long, and we just throw it in there and let it do its thing for 8 hours or whatever, so we can still go live. So yes, I totally forgot that next weekend is Easter, but as of right now, I still plan on going live next Sunday, 2 p.m. Central, as always. If for some reason that changes, I will just update everyone and let them know, but I do plan on doing that. Yeah, or the African Prince who wants to make us rich. I haven't got one of those in a long time. That was kind of the OG one where you get that email from either the African Prince or the amount of like relatives I have apparently that I never knew about that have passed away in other parts of the world, and their lawyer has contacted me. Maybe I did miss out on a sugar daddy situation.
We both know.
Because the amount of relatives I've had that have passed away and that wanted to leave me 2.1 million pounds, like, I guess I should have said yes and given all my financial. Please don't ever respond to those emails. I still get those emails every once in a while. But yeah, most of it now is like, I don't even like saying the word like Bitcoin, like crypto crap. That one is a daily thing. They try to advertise. I have that all very heavily filtered so that garbage doesn't get advertised on my comment sections anywhere, and emails, and just it never ends. It never ends. Oh, and now we're getting people want to come for ham. Can't blame you. I know, right? Yeah, ham and mashed potatoes. Yep. And Easter candy. This time of year is the worst. Cadbury mini eggs. I may have a couple extra bags hiding of those. I do love me Easter chocolate. It's so good. It's so good. And then I also picked up another huge bag of the Sour Patch Kids, but they're the bunny shaped ones because those were on sale at Costco when we got groceries. And I was like, again, add to cart. Do I need those? No, but I love them. So anyway, doodly-doo. Yes, and that's also why the unpaid intern helps moderate my chats during the lives. Not like I get like a bajillion people in here, and the vast majority are pretty awesome, but in the beginning I was getting hit by trolls and some spammers and stuff, and that's exhausting. Like I attract those things apparently. So that's why he stepped in and started volunteering to help keep that out. And ever since, we've been good. So we shall see. I'm gonna miss you next Sunday, Easter Family Day. Oh yeah, I don't expect a ton of people to show up because, of course, yeah, a lot of people are going to be spending time, you know, having Easter dinner and doing their things, and that's fine. That's why I keep my lives up. People can watch on the replay works fine. So no worries on that. But for now, I do plan on going live on Sunday. We'll see. And like always, you never know. I might be able to do 1 or 2 this week, but I make no promises. Yeah, the bonus lives are always just me, because usually the intern is working his real job. So we shall see. And yeah, I love Sour Patch Kids. I love sour candy. I could, yeah, like everything. I could go on about candy. I love candy. So fun. But yeah, I will see y'all next. I'm just reading through the comments. Yeah, I will see those that are able to make it next Sunday, 2 p.m. Central. That's our thing. Can't you set it to subscribers only? I do have that set. That was another thing I changed on the live chat. Is yeah, you have to be subscribed to be able to participate in the chat. That was one way to kind of get around it. So that people just don't just pop in to try and be trolls, that sort of a thing. Because yeah, that was annoying. So I do have that set so that they, at the bare minimum, they have to sit around. I think I have mine set for, you have to be subscribed to me for at least 10 minutes. And that is usually enough, because most spammers don't have the patience to just like sit around and wait till they can post something stupid. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's never gonna end. This is the internet. There is always going to be scammers, scalpers, spammers, trolls, robots. It never ends. It never ends. So as long as I keep one step ahead and I'm able to, nip that in the bud, we'll be good. So anyway, I will see you all for sure live, for sure as of now, next Sunday at 2. And then I have other videos coming as always. This past week, I only got a couple up. This past week was stressful. It was stressful. I didn't get anything done, really. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of videos coming as always. And then we'll go live and have fun and chaos like we always do. I appreciate all of you. Heart hands. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!